Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to 10 a.m. Tea with Natalie. Happy noon if you're watching in Central Time. I'm checking in today to talk to you guys about the importance of making time for yourself. But first, I'd like to start with we are now into week 3 of January. So, how are your New Year's resolutions going? Are you making progress? Are you getting where you wanted to go? Week 3 is about when we start kind of giving up on things and we start kind of letting stuff go. So it's a really good time to check back in and make sure, excuse me, that we are still staying focused and we still have our eyes on the prize. So what progress have you made on your New Year's resolutions? And definitely feel free to comment below. I'm really excited to learn about how you guys are doing. And I'd also like to know what roadblocks you're facing. What kind of unexpected aspects are popping up for you that you maybe weren't sure were going to be part of that picture. So I'll kind of talk about my experience here with 10 a.m. tea. So obviously I've been showing up. So that part of the progress is, going okay. I've been here Monday through Friday since I started. And I think that it's getting better. I'm feeling more comfortable. I'm a little bit less sweaty in the armpits and stuff at the end of the show. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more into my groove. I wonder what you guys are thinking. How do you think I'm doing? Definitely let me know. But I really, as a person, I just tend to be really anxious and I overthink everything. Like on the process to make a decision, after I've made the decision, I think and think and think and worry and worry and worry. Was I supposed to do this? Was I supposed to do that? And that's always something that I'm consciously working towards. And so 10 a.m. tea has definitely been something that has triggered a lot of anxiety and overthinking for me. I get really like, what am I going to be talking about? Is everyone just thinking I'm this narcissistic asshole that's just like proselytizing all of her shit? And I can get really, really away from the topic. One of my strategies is to kind of just tell myself it's not a big deal and to stop freaking out. It works sometimes, other times it doesn't work as well. And so the unexpected aspect that I found is how it's actually making me happier to be working with you guys and talking to you guys about all these things, health and wellness. It's helping to keep me focused. It's helping me to kind of stay mentally always in the game because I have to keep thinking of different things to talk about. And so it's kind of forcing me to kind of look at the lighter side and the positive side, since that's really what I'm working on, to help all of us kind of stay motivated, stay excited, stay engaged in our lives. So that's kind of an interesting aspect, that it's actually like benefiting me in addition to causing me to be anxious and overthinking. I'm also getting this like positive side. So it's pretty 50-50. Another unexpected aspect was that it takes me about an hour of prep time every day to come up with this little snippet of show. And part of that time I'm also factoring in as my overthinking and being anxious time. So maybe it's not all constructive, but it does take me about an hour. So that's 5 hours a week that I'm committing to kind of doing this, which I wasn't really clear on before. But, we'll just kind of see what happens. There's no rule about that I have to do this for the rest of my life. Maybe we just do it for 6 months, or maybe we do it for a year, or maybe we do end up doing it forever. It'll kind of just be based on how things evolve between you and me and, where things go. So keeping in mind, as easy as things are to do them, they're just as easy to not do them. So just as easy as it is for me to just hit go live, it's just as easy for me to come up with an excuse where I don't have to. Just as easy as it is to, wash your hands, it's just as easy to not. And then you get yourself sick. So another one of those things that's just as easy to do but not do is making time for yourself. And so when you're making time for yourself, you're really making that kind of re-emphasis to reaching your goals. If you're not making that quality time for you, you're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do in your life. You're not going to be able to make those uncomfortable steps and do those things to help you really reach the gains that your heart most desires. And so making time for yourself actually has two kind of sort of aspects, and then there's a duality inside of each aspect. So I'll kind of get into that a little bit. Solitude can be part of making time for yourself, or it can also be socializing. And then making time for yourself can also be de-stressing, or it can be productive. So we kind of have a little yin and yang going on. Yin being the more quiet, the more slow, the more restful, and the yang being a little bit more active and producing and functional. And so it's really important whenever we're dealing with stuff in our lives to really be always working towards balance and keeping things consistent in a way that is, not overthrowing one side or the other. Good morning, Amanda. Thanks for checking in. And if you are watching live, please comment so I can see that you're here. Love to give you a greeting. Love to acknowledge your presence here today. And so when we're talking about solitude's letting you shut off. It's letting you reboot and recharge. So making that time to really process your day, okay, that can be incredibly helpful. Did you know that if you don't spend time at the end of your day kind of going over all the things that have happened, that will mess up your sleep at night? And that's why we have work dreams, and that's why we wake up between like 1 and 3 in the morning with these like intrusive thoughts like, oh my God, I have to do this. No, my God, I forgot about that. Definitely is a thing, okay? So making sure that you're having that little bit of solitude to kind of process and kind of wrap your head around everything that's gone on is really super important there. And it also lets you think when you have a little bit of solitude. So you can think really deeply, which can allow you to refocus your mind on your commitments, help you to reanalyze problems that you're kind of not able to work through, help you really kind of realign yourself with your purpose and what you're trying to accomplish in your life, help you figure out what you want, what you need, what you're feeling, what's going on for you. Solitude is really important for kind of improving quality of life in that way, to help you kind of really recognize who you are and what's going on. So for this, putting your devices away is really helpful. And when you're carving out space for yourself, you're making a commitment. So, that's waking up early. Because for me, I can only control the mornings. Like the afternoon gets away from me. People make, I answer the phone and then the next thing I know, my entire day is, done a total 180 and I'm not sure what's going on. So for me, I really can control the mornings. I can control when I get up. And for the most part, I can kind of control when I fall asleep. So I try to regulate my life in that way to kind of create space and make time for myself there. If you have kids when they're in school, that could be something that you're kind of using that time. And on the weekends, maybe you have a friend or family member that could watch your kids, or there's other things that you could do to create a little bit of time for yourself to just be able to kind of think and plan. Also making sure to that time for yourself can be used for self-care with a provider. So you can get a massage or get acupuncture or get adjusted, talk to your therapist, make a little time for yourself in a personal and professional way. Amanda says, I don't know what solitude is. She has a 3-year-old and a husband. Well, we can kind of help remind you a little bit here and there. So kind of hopefully this will help you create a little space for yourself. I think for lunch, it's really important to make sure that you're having a lunch. You're not working right through. It's important, first of all, to keep your blood sugar even so that you're not stress eating and stuff like we talked about last week. But it's also super important to kind of create some punctuation in your day so you can kind of process the morning and then get ready for the afternoon, kind of get your head back in the game. And you can also use your quality solitude time for multitasking. So you could be doing solitude and exercise together. You could be doing solitude and journaling together, or solitude and planning your day, kind of get your shit together. These are all things that, count as your solitude, and while planning your day and that kind of thing may not necessarily be de-stressing, it's quality time in a way that's helping you kind of stay focused and stay on top of things. And that's beneficial too. You're not always going to, have a perfect situation where you're spending an hour of day like in your Zen zone. Sometimes you're going to have to be working a lot, on just trying to keep shit together so your life doesn't fall apart. And that's really important as well. Let's not, discount things not falling apart because it's super, super important. And then socializing is another way that we can make time for ourselves. And this helps us really feel more connected to our friends and family. It helps our hearts kind of feel full when we're having that sort of heart-to-heart moment. And it also can make it a little bit easier to stick to that time creation schedule. So when you're having to show up for someone else because you promised that you'd meet them at this time, you're really making that extra effort to make sure that you're there for yourself in that way. And sometimes it's a little bit harder to hold ourselves accountable when the only one we're holding ourselves accountable to is, us. Because it's really easy to push our own needs aside and, I'll get to it later, I'll do it tomorrow. And then that day never comes, right? It's also important to remember the little luxuries in life. So going out to lunch with a friend, making time for the mani-pedi or whatever with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever the case may be. You know, doing those little things where you're taking care of yourselves and then also making time for each other simultaneously, that's a really nice way to multitask that too. So hopefully this helps you kind of remember that we're all in the struggle together. We all have unexpected kind of aspects when we're working towards our goals. We all hit roadblocks. And we all kind of need to spend time checking in to make sure that we are even aware of where we are on that whole spectrum. So please be doing that for yourself. Make a little quality time for you sometime this week. If it's only 15 minutes to start, so be it. But at least you're kind of making a way for that to happen. And I'll be back with you again tomorrow. I've been working with a new product for the last week or so. So I'm going to talk to you guys about my results with that. I haven't checked in all the ways. Gonna weigh myself and let you guys know what's going on. Yeah, it's getting real up in here this week. So take care of yourself, and I'll be back again tomorrow, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. tea with Natalie, every day at 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 11 Mountain, and that would be 1 Eastern. And in Hawaii, I suppose they're 2 hours, so that would be 9 a.m. tea. I don't know. Love you guys. Have a fabulous day. Take care.